Yo guys, welcome back for another video. Today I kind of want to rank the JJK units in a tier list just so that you guys know the best, kind of like the rankings for these JJK units. I'm gonna introduce you to my old tier list and then maybe give you guys this new tier list for the JJK units because there's quite a few of them actually, and that's what we are going to be covering in today's video. Alright guys, please subscribe because we are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers before 2025 or the end of this year. We still have 2 months left and we can definitely hit it with your help. So please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And let's continue on with this video. So, okay, now that we got that out of the way, it's time now to talk about the Jujutsu Kaisen units and their ranking. So there's currently only 8 Jujutsu Kaisen units, and I'm gonna be introducing them to you right now. So here in the index, you can actually see them. So the first Jujutsu Kaisen unit, Choso, Jogo, Itadori, which eventually evolves into Sukuna, which is going to be the 9th unit. And the reason why I know that Itadori evolves into Sukuna actually is because Itadori actually can't be ascended. And basically, if you don't know already, the reason why Itadori can't be ascended is because he is a secret unit, which is also why Gojo can't be ascended. Secret units cannot be ascended, right? Even units like Toji can be ascended. So basically, only mythic rarity units can be ascended. Then we have Todo. Then we also have Gojo. So those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 mythic banner units. And then in legendary, we have 2 legendary units, which is Inumaki and then Nobaba or Nobara. But then we have 1 exclusive unit, which is actually Tojo, and then, or sorry, not Tojo, Toji. But then we also have a tournament's leaderboard reward, which is Mekamaru, and then after that, we also have the infinite leaderboard, which is Mahito. But those aren't out yet, so we're not gonna be including them in this video. Alright, so let us begin. So first and foremost, let's start with the first one that I can see, which is Nobara. So we are going to put Nobara. Okay, so let me just actually refix this one right here because there's only 8 of them that we're gonna be ranking. So right here we have best, meta, good, and then support. Okay, the reason why this is like this is because all of these units are amazing. Okay, all of these units are amazing. You can use them in multiple game modes. Like literally all of the units right here are so good that they power creep older units, and I'm actually going to be explaining that in a little bit. So first unit that I see right here is Nobara. Okay, so Nobara is actually going to classify as a support unit, and I will explain to you guys why right now. So if you guys take a look at Nobara's passive, her passive ability is damage plus 50% when hitting bleeding enemies, and then also an ability to inflict bleed. The thing that you guys probably don't know is that he is cheap, or she is cheaper than basically all the other bleed units in the game. Cheaper than Bean, cheaper than Toji, which is, I don't think Toji is a bleed, but cheaper than Bean, cheaper than also Choso, which is also a bleed unit. So Nobara is, for that reason, going to be actually pretty good support, but if you're gonna include her as a DPS, she's not that good as a DPS unit. Next is Todo, which is also another support unit. He does have pretty good attack capabilities, but in my opinion, his main ability, which is Boogie Woogie, is a great support. Now, how it works is if, for example, you get attacked by an enemy that's way too powerful for you, like let's say, for example, your main upgraded unit is Gojo, and the enemy is too strong for Gojo to kill, and it got out of your range, what you could do is use Todo to Boogie Woogie your main damage unit so that it can start hitting the boss again. So Todo can basically Boogie Woogie your max upgraded units and basically transfer them to places so that you can hit the bosses. And this is actually a very good ability that I don't know if I have a video for it. I think I actually do. But yeah, he is a very good support in those cases. But he's a pretty decent damage unit, but I just would consider him more as a support unit. You actually don't need to evolve him. If you evolve him, I think he will be better, but in my opinion, I don't really want to bother. He's the unit that I least want to evolve, okay, for the JJK units. And then you have, I will actually keep Toji and Gojo for last because they're honestly obviously the rarest ones, and they're also pretty good. Okay, let's speedrun this because let's speedrun this because I actually have to get back to watching because I'm watching with my parents right now, and I went out of my way to make this tier list. So I think Todo is a very good support, better than Nobara in my opinion. But then now we move on to Inumaki, and I think Inumaki is again another support unit, but actually Inumaki can also be a very decent damage unit because of his passive. Okay, now what his passive is if you take a look at Inumaki right now, his passive is pretty good. Now damage plus 200%. but his damage can go down to negative 160%. So he's not really a very good damage unit. He's more a support unit, but you know, at the very start, he can be a very good damage unit. So I'll still put him in the support unit, probably better than Nobara just by a bit in terms of support, but he is a support unit. Now let's move on to Itadori, Jogo, and Toji, and then Choso. So now we have the mythics. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 mythics that was added into the game in the banner. Okay, so Gojo was originally a mythic, but we're gonna, you know, rank his secret form. So for Itadori, I think he is actually going to be in the meta. Now the reason, obviously, Itadori is gonna be in the meta because he's gonna evolve into Sukuna, right? So he might even be in the best, right? But the reason why even right now he could be in the meta is because he is a 5 placement unit. So unlike, for example, other units, I think there's only a few units in the game right now that is a 5 placement unit. One of them being Itadori, the other one being Cha-In. So the reason why he is a very good unit is because unlike Cha-In, he is only 1,000 gold to place, which means you can easily place him down and place multiple of him, and he is actually a very good starter that can be compared to starter units like Vegeta. So Vegeta is a very good starter unit. He's probably still a better starter unit than Itadori. Some might say he's a better starter than Itadori. Personally, I actually like Itadori more because obviously this guy is gonna evolve into Sukuna, so he's gonna be better than Vegeta regardless. But even just his unevolved state, he's pretty good because he's 5 placement and he's very cheap, right? So I think, with that being said, he's a meta unit because he is a very good for damage. He's very good for starter. Okay, so essentially what starter means is the units that you basically start at the start of the game. They're basically the units that you open with, right? Like when, you know, wave 1, wave 2, they're the first units you ever place to essentially clear the enemies. So in my opinion, he is in meta. Now you have Jogo. Now he's a very good burn unit. I don't think he's gonna be in meta because, again, all of them actually have pretty decent damage and pretty decent passives. But the only reason why Itadori is in meta is, again, because of his 5 placement and his cheap, and obviously he's gonna evolve into Sukuna, so it doesn't even matter because he's gonna be really good as Sukuna. So I don't think Jogo is currently in the meta right now. Very good damage and burn, but again, burn doesn't actually cancel regen, which is one of the reasons why he's in good. And I've watched showcases of him, and he actually doesn't have the highest damage out there. He is pretty decent, but I don't think he's gonna be in meta. Then we have Choso, which in my opinion is gonna be slightly above Jogo because Choso can actually do bleed, right? Choso is actually a pretty decent bleed unit. So he could be, you know, instead of bringing a random bleed unit, you could just bring Choso and you can have more damage and still have that bleed. So that's one of the reasons why I think Choso is higher than Jogo, because again, Choso, even though he doesn't have the highest damage, his bleed can cancel regen. So instead of bringing a random bleed support that can only do bleed but can't do that much damage, you can bring Choso, which is only 1,250 gold, very cheap, and he's gonna do more damage and he's gonna be a support unit. So he's actually very good support but also a very good DPS unit, which is one of the reasons why he is going to be in the good category, better than Jogo in my opinion, because again, super cheap, and his bleed starts at placement, and that bleed can essentially cancel regen of a lot of enemies. And also he's for placement, which is very good. Now let's talk about Toji. Not much needs to be said about Toji. I will not put him at best. He's a very good unit, clearly better than Sukuna. Sorry, not Sukuna, Itadori. Because again, Sukuna will probably be the best unit of this update. Not better than, or better than Itadori, but not better than the number 1. Obviously, you guys who know who the number 1 is gonna be. Okay, the honored one. Just a little bit of a sneak peek there. But nothing much needs to be said about Toji. He bypasses shield. Apart from his ability to bypass shield, he has an early full area of effect upgrade. Early full area of effect upgrade. He has good damage. And honestly, the only thing I need to even say is the fact that he bypasses shield means he's instantly one of the best units out there. On top of being relatively cheap. 1,500 gold. Relatively cheap. And his abilities to bypass shield is absolutely crazy. So again, his passives are very good. This passives alone, and even he also does have an ability. He is very self-explanatory on why he is the second best unit currently in this update. Will he be better than Gojo? let's decide. Now, okay, I think there's actually an argument to be said that he could potentially be better than our GOAT, Gojo, the Honored One. I would honestly maybe put Toji above Gojo if you don't have a Monarch Gojo, right? I feel like Gojo with Monarch is just so ahead because he will have around 200, he can do 220,000 damage. 220,000 damage apart from having the ability to, use his Unlimited Void. I believe the Unlimited Void is a global cooldown, so that means only one Gojo can use Unlimited Void. Like, 3 Gojos can't use it, and you can't spam it with 3 Gojos. So Gojo is a unit that's basically best with Monarch. I don't think you can use him with any other traits because of the way he is designed, right? Like, his ability. Alright, so with that being said, oh my god, I just resetted it, but yeah. There is a slight argument to be made for Toji being better than Gojo if you don't have a Monarch Gojo. Because again, Gojo to upgrade is kind of be expensive. And again, since his ability is very tailored to a Monarch, I believe that if you don't have Monarch on Gojo, Toji might be better than him simply because of Toji's passives, right? He has a passive to remove shield. That instantly makes him so much better than a lot of the units out there. He's amazing. He's an amazing unit, right? He's probably going to be used in all tournaments starting from now because of, again, how good he is and his just how good he is, right? So again, I do think that there's an argument to be made if you have Monarch on Gojo, but if you don't have Monarch on him, I think Toji could potentially be better or at the same tier as him. So currently, this is my list right here. Gojo as the best with Monarch, Toji at second best, Itadori at third best because of his starter, and also he's gonna be one of the best eventually when he evolves into Sukuna. Then Choso at the top of good, Jogo next to Choso. Then we have support units right here. So in total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5, and then those 8 units right here, 8 units. And these are, in my opinion, the proper tier list for these units. And yeah, if you guys have any different opinions and you have any different ideas on which one you would rank first or whatever, comment it down below because I would definitely be interested to see those as well.